Hey, welcome to Coffee with Scott. And just for a couple of minutes, I want us to look at a verse together, a verse that has been on my mind this week, and it's in Ephesians chapter 4, and it is verse 27. And we have probably in other videos and other coffees with Scott looked at this, but like I said, this verse has been on my mind, and I want us to look at this verse, and probably this coming week we're going to look at this verse again and dig down a little bit more. But in the King James it says in Ephesians 4 and verse 27, neither give place to the devil. Another version is going to say don't give an opportunity to the devil. But I want us just for a couple of minutes look at this word place. And if we look at the word place, we're going to see that this word place means any portion or a, and this is kind of what I want to look at, a marked off space, or a surrounding space, or an inhabited place. So if we just look at this for just a minute, neither give a marked off space to the devil, neither give a inhabited place to the devil. Now I want you to think of that for just a minute. Now this word devil, it speaks of your adversary, the devil, but it also speaks of the slanderer, the false accuser. And so if we just step back for a minute and let's look at this from a not a spiritual aspect right now, but a fleshly, if I can use that word, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, aspect. But this word devil can also apply to a person when it comes to meaning slanderer or false accuser. And if you are a Sabbath keeper, if you are a covenant keeper, if you're following the law of God, there are those out there, and there may even be some in your life, that are falsely accusing you. They are accusing you of being a heretic. They're accusing you of going under the law, or putting yourself under the law, or putting yourself into bondage. You and I both know those are false accusers. Those are slanderers. They're speaking falsely about you, and speaking falsely about your life. And in if we go back a verse, in verse 25, this is what Paul says in Ephesians 4. Therefore, having put away falsehood. So we have nothing to do with falsehood. If you are a covenant keeper, if you are a Sabbath keeper, if you're following the law of God, there is no room for falsehood. So we also don't give place to falsehood. We don't give a marked off place or any portion or even an opportunity to someone that is falsely accusing you. Now let's step back again into the spiritual aspect, where Paul says neither give place to the devil. Do not give place to the devil. And as I've already said, this Greek word means any portion or space marked off. It means an inhabited place. If we look at this from a Hebraic perspective, the Hebrew equivalent to this word that Paul is using is the Hebrew word for house. Now I want you to think about that. Neither give a house to the devil. And we're going to look about this thing, but let me just, in another video, but just let me say this. We don't need to give the devil a living spot in your life. We don't need to provide a living quarters for the adversary, for your enemy. And we're going to end with this. And like I said, we're going to dig in deeper into this scripture and really dig out some truth of what Paul is saying, because while Paul may have written in Greek, his mindset was Hebraic. So when Paul says, neither give place to the devil, the adversary, the slanderer, the false accuser, he's talking about don't give him place in your life. Don't give him place in your family. And we're going to look at this a little bit more. Don't give him any spiritual stronghold. Thank you for taking time out for Coffee with Scott.